Hi everyone, I'm Santiago, the founder of Main Prospects. I wanted to shoot this video to tell you a little bit more about what we do and also show you an example of what we did with one of our clients. This is, of course, only one of the lot of use cases that we can do with you, like everything personalized, but I wanted to showcase something so you have an idea. So first of all, what we do, we help you everything inbound, outbound in your sales process. Mainly focus in lead generation, but we can also support in different parts of the sales process. So let me give you a context here of what we did with this client. So they were focusing mainly on dentists in Germany. So we know that dentists, they are not usually in LinkedIn, their companies or the dentists, because they don't have to. So we had to think, let's say, outside the box, what's the best channel to reach out or to find these companies. And of course, they have to be in Google Maps because that's where people go and find the one closer to them, their sold information. So thinking about that, we created this workflow that you're going to see here. So first of all, you're going to see this query table with Serper Dev. This is where we got the people automatically. So we got the companies automatically. I'm going to show you later. We just needed to input into the model like the city we wanted to look into, and we're going to get the companies as you see here. So we're going to get a list of company, whatever number we want to get. For this example, I just did it with 30 companies per city, but we can scale that. And then after that, from the dentist that we find, we're going to find the people. Later on, personalize the messages because we are doing this automated, but we wanted to feel handwritten by our customers because that's the whole idea, scaling something that really works and not just sending spam. So let me just get into it here in the first table. So as I said, what we need to do is just input the name of the city. Let's say I want to look for people, for companies in Berlin and in Hamburg. So you're going to see here Sanners in Berlin, Sanners in Hamburg, Sanners is dentist, dental offices. So let's get the search started. So as you see here, there are three different companies. This is because with SerperDev, we can only get like the 10 first companies that appear in Google Maps. So we have to do this process to get, like in the first column, you're going to get the first 10, then the second 10. So that's how we get in total 30 per city. We can scale that with 10, 100 columns, whatever we need. But for this example, I just wanted to keep it simple. So now as you see here, we're going to get the results. These are all the different places that we found. So there's some information here that is going to help us uh, in the following steps. So now what we want to do here is to write this information into other table so we can see it like in a better way. With this like each step by a time because I do it slowly so you guys get the whole idea. But if I wanted, I could just click here and it's going to run all the process automatically. I don't have to do anything, but yeah. So you're going to see here the first 10 companies that we found in Berlin and also in Hamburg. Then we're going to have their name, the address, their website. And what we want to do first is to normalize the domain because there are some parts of the domains that we don't want. So let me, for example, here, that's not going to help us in the following process. So we want to have a clean domain like here, you see. So after that, we also got our phone number, the company identification in Google Maps, and this help us with a formula, get the Google Maps URL, because we're going to use that later to find more information about the company. I'll show you guys later. So let's run the first rows. Here, what I'm going to do is to tell the agent to go into the website of these companies and make sure they are dentists because sometimes in Google Maps there might be like some companies that, for example, they are a directory of dentists or maybe they are a university focused on dentists, so we don't want to reach out to them. So we want to make sure they really are. So here, fortunately for us, all of them, those 10 were dentists. If you want to make sure there's the reasoning of ChatGPT of why they are dentists, they offer these services, so you can double check that. And then we can write this to another table where we're going to find the people. Let's give it a minute. It writes all the information. So now we go to, sorry, here first to find people. So we got 10 companies in our table in Berlin. We got their website, the Google Maps URL, and also very important, we have this column with the job titles that we are going to focus our search on. So for our client, I wanted to go and look for these ones. So let me show you. Owner, dentist, president, CEO. So all those charts, all those people in the companies. Maybe we're going to see dentists because that's what usually you find in their website. But if we got information about the CEO, the owners, that will be great also. So let me run this. Now what the agent is doing is finding these people. So here is a prompt that we gave it. So this is the target location of the person in Germany. I want you to look for any of these job titles for this company in their website. And also in the Google Maps URL you might find people there. So I asked it to get up to 5 people from this company, use all they need, make sure to return the information. I'm going to have it here in a JSON format because we're going to get that data later on to the personalization tab. So let me show you an example here. For this company, we found 2 people. So this doctor, he's a dentist, we have the name and also a profile if we find like a personal profile of them that we may use later on for to get their email. So here are the results. We got people for all of them. If you see yellow here is like maybe the results might not be the most accurate, so we can double check that. But let's go. Sorry, I forgot to run it to write it to another table. So let's write it and wait for the people to appear in our table. As you see here, we have 5 people here, two, two, one, so on. For a total of 27 people, as you see, they are mainly dentists, also owners, so that's good to see because they might have like a better decision power there. We have the company name, again, the website, the location. This is information that can help us. We got LinkedIn profile for almost all of them, so that's very good because we're going to use that to get the emails here because those tools need the LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to go into that steps. Let's run it too. Want to show you guys with these first people. We have here a waterfall. This means that the system is going to find the emails in different places. So if they don't find it in this one, it's going to go to the next one and so on until find someone. Now, what I did here is that as we're not going to get all of the emails because maybe they are not there, I tasked ChatGPT to go into the website and find an email that might help us because this is something that, for example, for dentists, if you email to an info or contact email, maybe you get a reply, maybe somebody that is important are going to read these emails because it's a small company and maybe we have success there. Of course, it doesn't work for every company. Like almost every B2B business is going to be a waste of time, but we wanted to try that. As you see here, for these 3 people, we didn't find the emails, so automatically the agent ran the search. And we got info at. So maybe we can use them, maybe not, but we have the information. Now, following here, what I did here is to normalize the company name because we have a lot of data that is not going to look good in our emails if we personalize them. So for example, let me show you for this company. I lost it for a second. So here we have Dental 21. Before that, it was, sorry, it's here. So Sanners, Berlin, Hood, Dental 21. So we don't want all of this information because if we send in an email, it's not going to look good. It's not going to make sense. We only want the clean name. And that's what we got. It's looking great to send in an email. Now, I told you guys that we were going to use the Google Maps URL later on. We have it here, and I use it to all script data. Sorry, shouldn't show you this because here's my API keys. But what I wanted to look for here is the late review, the reviews that these companies have in Google Maps. So I wanted to do that because I want to know how old is the company. So you see here 10 months, 2 years ago, 7 years ago. So that's the date that we got the last review in Google Maps. Sorry, the first review in Google Maps. So from that, we use it to further personalize our email. And after that, the last step in our personalization process, I ask again ChatGPT, take a look at their website and help me fill in the below snippet. So I want to personalize with the top services that they offer. And also you see here the date, like I'm on a wide range of services for more than 10 months now, 2 years now. So this looks like we went into their company, we saw how old they were. Yeah, it's going to look great in the email. So with that information, we got these responses. Let me show you. So for example, for this company specializes in aesthetic dentistry and implantology on a wide range of services for more than 10 months now. Here in the second personalization step, distribute the space for dental implants and aesthetic services. In the second step, we task ChatGPT to focus on the services that might bring them more revenue, because maybe telling them that they were more eager to take a look at our services. And I'm going to show you an example of the final result. So what we do here usually is that with our clients, we draft the email or we send them different emails that we can use. And from there, we reverse engineering into what we can personalize from the email and how we can get the data. So all of what I showed you before, it started with drafting this email first, and then I went, look, I scrape and personalize the data to get the final result. So hi Elif, I sold Dental 21, specializes in aesthetic dentistry and implantology. I'm on a wide range of services for more than 10 months now. So we went into their website, saw which services they offer, for how long, also in the modernization, interior architecture, design of the clinic. So that's what our client focuses on. Here, as you're going to see in the third paragraph, is the other personalization. So how to distribute the space for dental implants and aesthetic services. So focusing on the services that bring more revenue to them. So that's all. You can look at the email. I'm not going to read all of it. And after that, we can either send them to a campaign, for example, here to Instantly, Smartly, whatever campaign manager you want to use. But yeah, that's it. So that's all I wanted to show you in this example. Of course, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is one of the use cases that we have. We can really create the email that you want, reverse engineering, and look into different places, not just Google Maps. We can scrape different websites, find different companies, find different personalization topics. So, for example, we can get comments of people in different parts, different social media, and we can use that to personalize the messages. So if you want to do this at your company, if you want to learn more about how to do it, please just book a meeting, shoot me a message, and we can discuss this in detail. So yeah, that was it. I thank you.